What up? What is going on today, my friends? Today is day 230 of No Excuses 2024. I see many, many excuses over and over again. It is funny because you'll see, like, well, whatever. All I know is I probably have to put the past away, right? You know, I hold on to these perceived friendships from the past. And it's like I'm watching a slow motion suicide for a lot of these people, you know? And it's sad. And you see them, they'll post stuff like, oh, I went to the doctor, I need this surgery, I've said this many a time. And everybody's like, oh my God, get well, get better, blah, 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 blah. Oh, thoughts and prayers, whatever, right? And meanwhile, everything that they're suffering from is self-induced, right? It's the same problems over and over again, it's the same health problems over and over again. And then, they're proud of the SSRIs that they're on and the Valiums and the, now Ozempics and like all this crazy shit, And so, Ozempic and metformin, things like that, those are all to treat the effects of diabetes, right? Of insulin resistance, of too much sugar, too much carbs, too much processed foods, right? And then they have to take something that's, a medicine for that. And then the side effects for that are mostly the things that you're trying to avoid by taking the thing because your body's insulin resistant. And don't get me wrong, I eat some crap. I've been eating a lot of crap lately. I'm definitely going to get more militant about my diet right now. I was watching this podcast yesterday, and it's this brother and sister. She was a surgeon, Stanford-trained surgeon, and he was in marketing. And they're talking about ultra-processed foods and insulin resistance. And a lot of these women, like the sperm count in men is going down 1% every year. And infertility in women, it's something like 30% of all women are experiencing, 30% of all American women experiencing infertility, right? Ovarian cysts, right? And when you get an ovarian cyst, right, and you become infertile from a lot of it, the medicines they give you to treat the ovarian cyst are diabetes medicine. But they don't tell you, hey, you're insulin resistant. Right? No, just take these medications. We're not really sure. A lot of women are getting cysts now and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't normal. We went from, as Americans, eating a total of 4 pounds of added sugar a year. Now we're up to between 80 and 100 pounds of added sugars in our diet. They're trying to get okay to give Ozempic to 12-year-olds all the way down to 6-year-olds, right? They're saying that babies are born with metabolic syndromes. Oh, it's inherited from the parents. Well, yeah, if you eat shit, you're gonna have shit results. And like all of these things, like that. So on this podcast, they were talking about how 12 weeks of the ketogenic diet, 12 weeks of the ketogenic diet will get rid of all your ovarian cysts, and you'll become fertile again. Your sperm count will go up as well if you're on the other side, right? A lot of these chemicals that are in stuff are feminizing men. Women who take hormone birth control repeatedly for years and years and years, they choose men while they're on the birth control, right, that are more effeminate. This is a proven fact. And then a lot of times, you'll see divorces after like a 25, 30-year marriage, right? Because the women are no longer taking the birth control, that type of birth control anymore. And they're no longer attracted. Oh, I just don't love them anymore. Well, you probably never loved them before. Like, you got to understand, Alzheimer's. They call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. And they've reversed Alzheimer's with ketogenic diets and exercise. There's no drug on the market. There's drugs that can slow it down a little bit, but it won't reverse it. The only way to reverse it is through healthy lifestyle choices, healthy diet, exercise, mental clarity. Like you'll have more mental clarity too if you're not poisoning your body with these toxins. I see the same people over and over again. I had to get the surgery. Oh, I'm on Ozempic. I'm on this. I'm on that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm in the hospital again. And they're doing it to themselves. Every other post you see is like, oh, about to hit this. And it's a big picture of some big greasy freaking, seed oil full meal, right? Or like, oh, I'm drinking bourbon, because blah, blah, blah. And it's all a distraction. It's all to keep your brain muddled, right? My mother had made a comment. Well, she had some posts, and I was like, she's talking about equity. And I'm like, you do understand that equity is not equality, right? It's doublespeak. They'll say equality less and less, and they'll replace it with equity. Some people need to read Brave New Worlds and 1984. Get the Cliff Notes and just bang it out and just see where we're living nowadays. See what kind of situation we're all in. Like I like social media, right? But I don't like seeing people that I grew up with, that I did like and respect, or at least I liked them at one point in my life. But like it's very hard to watch the slow motion suicide. And then, then the things that they say and they do, it's like their whole brains are just fucking poisoned, The information that's coming out of their mouths doesn't make any sense. It makes sense if you're into victimhood, right? If you're into victimizing yourself, if everybody's a victim and this and that, and nothing's your fault, the one thing that is your fault is the shape that your body's in. It's the one fucking thing you have 100% control over, Stop the ultra-processed food, stop the added sugar, the sugar water, which we call juices, I'm going to have a talk with my children and my partner about the things that we bring into the house and the things that we're eating, and whatever, like, they can eat what they want. And, I have to lead through example, but, it's hard to do. Food's one of those things that I can easily fall into that comfort, that false comfort, which just makes me uncomfortable in every other aspect of my life, so I got to tighten up the ship. I'm like, I want to get off social media. But maybe, I enjoy my social media. It's a lot of art, hot rods, funny memes, funny political shit, people eating it freaking, and bicycle and skateboard accidents and, fight videos. Like, I like all that stuff, right? I like watching all that stuff. The stuff that I can't stand is people that I thought in the past we were on the same level, and I realized more and more that we were never on the same level. I was bringing myself down, with all the poisons and distractions of the modern world, and I'm not blaming them. It's like the woman who stops taking the hormonal birth control and she realizes she no longer loves, never mind, likes her spouse because he's not the man that she truly wanted, right? Not the person that they truly wanted. And then that changes when they're just on their regular hormones, your natural self, right? I feel like that. I feel like I've unburdened and unpoisoned the body, mind, and spirit for the most part. I'm still a work in progress, don't get me wrong. And I no longer have room in my life for the distractions and the toys. And that's what these people are. They're distractions and they're toys. And, a lot of these people thought that they were, counterculture and, we're fucking the system and, we're putting it to the man and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, they're 100% backing the powers that be. The powers that they say are keeping black people down and homosexuals and trans and marginalized people and women and this and that. All the people that are holding them down. And, it's the party that they continuously vote for. And that's on both sides. Until we become non-binary in our politics, we're going to keep suffering from this shit. And until you take responsibility for your actions, for yourself, for the stuff you put into your fucking mouth and the things that you put into your mind, the distractions, you know, the things that I used to call, oh, I want to treat myself, to diabetes, to drug addiction, to alcoholism, to this, to that, to homelessness, you know. No, man, all that shit's a distraction, and it's just distracting us from who we are, you know. Day 230, folks. Have a great day, man. You know, I gotta, you know, I'm against like unfriending people, but now I think I'm rethinking that. I really do, because I can't watch the suffering. It brings me down, you know. And I'm sure I do the same thing for a lot of people, but you know, I got to take care of me. You know, I'm no longer worried about my friends from the 80s and the 90s that, you know, I want to respect me or this. I don't give a fuck about that shit. The ones that are still the real ones are still the real ones. You know what I mean? I'm still in contact with those people. You know what I mean? They have my phone number. They know the address of my shop. They know where I live. You know, if you don't have those things, we're not friends. We're acquaintances. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't hate you. You know what I mean? I just can't relate to you. No hate, just can't relate. Peace.